Liberia, the Lone Star State. Hello and welcome to our video on Liberia Revealed, a fascinating look at Africa's oldest republic. This video will take you to discover Liberia's history, culture, and natural beauty. The founding of Liberia. The founding of Liberia is a complex and controversial topic. It is widely known that Liberia was established as a colony for formerly enslaved people and free blacks from the United States. Still, the circumstances surrounding its creation and the settlers' experiences are often overlooked. In 1816, the American Colonization Society was formed in the United States to resettle free black Americans in Africa. The society acquired land on the west coast of Africa from local tribes and established the colony of Liberia in 1822. The first settlers arrived in 1822, and by the mid-19th century, thousands of formerly enslaved people and free blacks had emigrated to Liberia. The founding of Liberia was intended to solve the problem of what to do with formerly enslaved people in the United States. Still, it was also motivated by economic and strategic interests. The American Colonization Society hoped to create a colony that would serve as a trading post for American goods in West Africa, a base for missionary work, and an ally in the fight against the transatlantic slave trade. The experience of the settlers in Liberia was different from what they had expected. They were unfamiliar with the local customs and languages, and many needed help to adapt to the tropical climate and diseases. The settlers also clashed with the indigenous people, who resented the arrival of the Americans and the encroachment on their land. The indigenous people of Liberia are collectively called the Kapel people, the largest ethnic group in Liberia. Other significant ethnic groups include the Bassa, Grebo, Vai, Geo, Mano, Kron, and Mandingo. These indigenous groups have distinct cultures, traditions, and languages. Despite these challenges, the colony of Liberia persevered and became Africa's first independent republic in 1847. The country's first president was Joseph Jenkins Roberts, a formerly enslaved person who had emigrated to Liberia in 1829. Liberia continued to attract settlers from the United States throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, and its population grew to include people of African, European, and mixed heritage. While the colony's establishment provided a new home for free blacks and formerly enslaved people, it also had far-reaching consequences for the indigenous people of West Africa and the region. Geographical location and demographic. Liberia is in West Africa, bordered by Sierra Leone, Guinea, Côte d'Ivoire, and the Atlantic Ocean. Its capital and largest city is Monrovia, situated on the coast and home to over 1 million people. Monrovia serves as the economic, political, and cultural center of Liberia. Today, Monrovia is a bustling city with a rich history and cultural heritage. The official language of Liberia is English, which is widely spoken and used for government and business purposes. However, over 30 local languages are spoken across the country, including Kapel, Bassa, and Vai. Religion plays a vital role in the lives of many Liberians, with Christianity and Islam being the most widely practiced. About 85% of the population identifies as Christian, with the majority being Protestant. Islam is practiced by about 12% of the people, mainly in the northern parts of the country. There are also smaller religious groups, such as traditional indigenous religions and Hinduism. Civil War and Reconstruction. Liberia went through a long civil war from 1989 to 2003. The conflict was characterized by ethnic and political divisions and the exploitation of Liberia's natural resources by warlords and foreign powers. The war led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of people and the deaths of an estimated 250,000 Liberians. The root causes of the Civil War can be traced back to the country's history of inequality and corruption, with a small elite controlling the government and the economy. The tension between the indigenous population and the Americo-Liberian ruling class also played a role in the conflict. The war began when Charles Taylor, a former government official imprisoned for embezzlement, led a rebellion against the government of Samuel Doe. The fighting quickly spread throughout the country, with different factions vying for power and resource control. The war also drew in neighboring countries, such as Sierra Leone and Guinea, which supported various sections. Additionally, during the conflict, many warring factions were supported by external actors, including arms dealers, multinational corporations, and foreign governments, which often fueled the violence and prolonged the conflict. The war ended with a peace agreement in 2003 and a United Nations peacekeeping mission deployment. Since then, Liberia has been engaged in the reconstruction and reconciliation process, with efforts to address the root causes of the conflict and promote national unity. This has included efforts to promote democratic governance and rebuild the country's infrastructure and economy. While significant progress has been made, challenges remain, including addressing the conflict's underlying causes, corruption, and promoting sustainable development. Culture and tradition. Liberia has several distinct cultures and traditions that have evolved over the centuries. One of the most notable cultural practices is the Poro and Sunday secret societies, which are influential among some ethnic groups, particularly the Mendi and Bai peoples. These societies have religious and political functions, and their members receive leadership, ethics, and history training. Another important cultural aspect of Liberia is its music and dance. Traditional music is played on various instruments, including drums, the xylophone, and stringed instruments, such as the kora. Western jazz, blues, and rock styles have also influenced Liberian music. Liberians also have a rich cuisine, with many dishes featuring rice, cassava, and plantains as staples. Some popular Liberian dishes include fufu, a starchy paste made from cassava or plantains, pepper soup, and jollof rice. The country is also known for its seafood, with fish and crab featuring heavily in many dishes. Natural beauty. Liberia boasts of stunning natural beauty that attracts tourists from all over the world. The country is endowed with lush tropical rainforests, pristine beaches, cascading waterfalls, and diverse wildlife. Sapo National Park is one of the most famous natural landmarks, home to a vast array of flora and fauna, including rare species such as pygmy hippopotamuses and forest elephants. The country also has a long coastline along the Atlantic Ocean with miles of beautiful beaches, including the famous Robertsport Beach, known for its excellent surfing. There are also numerous waterfalls throughout the country, including the Kapadawi Waterfall, which is situated in the dense rainforest and is a popular spot for hiking and picnicking. Additionally, there are several islands off the coast of Liberia, such as the beautiful and secluded Providence Island, which is perfect for a relaxing getaway. Conclusion. Liberia has a rich and complex history, yet it remains resilient and hopeful for the future. Despite facing challenges, Liberia has managed to preserve its cultural identity and natural beauty. We hope this video has given you a glimpse of Liberia's fascinating history and culture and encouraged you to learn more about this incredible country. Thank you for watching.